All right. Yeah. You know, if you look at the reactions there, the next obvious reaction is the acid-base reaction, right?
Yes.
If you have no base, then you have no acid-base reaction. If you have excess dichromate, then you'd have no base. And so, unfortunately, that doesn't work. And so, what you need to do is you need to go through, and this is for yourself too, you need to go through and look at the reaction chemistry. That's the most important thing about the discussion. I don't want to see, people start off the discussion right away. They say, okay, I got this yield, this many grams is my theoretical, this is my percent yield, and they're done with it. And there's no discussion about, okay, is that really the stuff you got? And then the other thing is we were talking about purity, right? And how do you know? Well, we don't have sophisticated instruments. We could easily send this out and get it analyzed, right? But we don't have that. So what's the next best thing? The next best thing is you tell me what you did to ensure that these are as pure as you can get them. And then I threw in an extra step in there to help you with this. The extra step was to recrystallize it. And so, after all this, and then, trying to get the crystals, and then the other thing is you can look in the literature and see, what shape are the crystals, what color are the crystals, what do they look like, and then because this is not new, if you're synthesizing something new, then you probably want to send it out for analysis, and you probably want to get a structure. What we do for structural analysis, we'll just do something called X-ray crystallography, which is discussed in chapter 12 of our book. But those are the types of arguments I want. I mean, those are the types of things I want you to discuss in the discussion section. And then, of course, the yield is important too. And you tack on the yield at the end. After you convinced the reader that what you have is what you say you have. As best as you can. It's nothing's ever perfect, right? If it's perfect, then it's so easy. It requires no discussion. It requires no paper. You read a lot of papers. There's a very long discussion section because they're trying to convince you, or trying to make arguments that what they say is what it is. But if it's so clear cut, like everybody wants something perfect, then it would be like looking at the answer key, the back of the book. Oh, there's the answer. That's it, right? But take a look at scientific papers. The longest section of a scientific paper is the discussion section. And do you think everybody has an infinite lifetime to make sure everything's perfect? No. What they do is they take the data that they have and make the best argument for what they think, it says. Otherwise, there's no progress. And so got to make sure that. And so this will be the first, maybe first foray into that for some of you. Any questions about this? This also, you got to talk about the reaction. I said there are the three basic types of reactions in this, right? The redox, the acid base, and the metathesis. Uh huh.
Okay, so for the recrystallization, you want us to compare before and after products, like these versus no.
Well, before and after.
What do you mean? Like,
For the recrystallization, I want you to just compare, yeah, before and after. Because before you still kept some of the original crystals, and then after would be the new crystals. Just see what you got today. If you didn't get anything, then you could just say the recrystallization didn't work. You know? And of course, if you had more time, you could try it again, but you don't have more time, so you just stop it there. This is as far as we got. Now, what we say in the conclusion section is, yes, in the conclusion section would be, we would give it more time, try another recrystallization by changing these parameters, perhaps. And so you're giving some guideposts to yourself or to anybody else who's going to do this in the future. A conclusion is not a summary of your report. Summary of your report is the abstract. You don't need two of them. A conclusion that repeats the abstract, right? You just want to discuss the future of this particular project. If it's a dead end project, then you discuss this is dead end. We would probably start completely fresh and do something else. Something like that. Okay. All right. Any other questions about the report?
wait, but do you describe about the appearance and the structure and
That's all you can do. You just do the best you can do based on your scientific skills as a observer. Science is all about observation. So you take these observations and then you analyze them, basically. But we can compare those with what's known. Anyway, I talked about the reactions. You could add more in depth into those, when we first discussed this experiment. All right, any other questions about this? All right, we're going to spend the whole day on lab today, so I'm not going to talk anymore. Just go ahead and start working.